Actually, Kate was on. And you're okay with the meeting being recorded, right, Kate?
Yes, no problem. No problem.
I was pretty sure you were. You
Yeah.
didn't object when I mentioned it to you. So Kate and I were actually just talking a little bit before the meeting started. Her bio that she gave me was very, very short. She is a New Zealander, but she was born and raised in Zimbabwe because her father was working there. She studied meteorology, but only worked in that field for a few years. Big thing about Kate is her abiding love for wildlife and nature. She shares that with people through her blog. If you want to see videos, apart from the ones that she's been sharing with us with her Friday Facts videos, you can go to Pacific Northwest Kate, and she's got lots of videos on there. She's also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So lots of places to check up on her. She moved to Vancouver about 10 years ago. Loves it here because of the great variety of wildlife that we have here. And so she loves going around mostly in the regional parks and filming and photographing and sharing things with people. So she says she will not share the location of endangered species if she happens to come across those. She'll photograph them and share the photos, but she won't share the location because that's just tempting people to go out there, and far too many of them trying to get too close. Have enough of that problem already. So that's what she's doing with herself these days, is photographing and documenting what we have here, this wonderful variety of wildlife and the beautiful scenery, because she does that too. And it's wonderful that she's willing to share it with us. Tonight, she's going to talk to us about finding hope and joy in nature. This is something that she found really helped her through the pandemic, being able to get out there and watch birds and just view nature in all its different aspects. And I think it's something that all of us can relate to, and a whole lot of other people. I think there were many, many people who found things in nature that they wouldn't normally experience during the pandemic, when, you know, being inside wasn't really great, because if they're inside, they're going to be alone. And so being outside and, you know, going to parks and things was a great way for them to pass time. And so it's renewed an interest in nature, which is just wonderful. Anyway, I think I'll let Kate take over. She can talk to you a little bit about herself if she wants to, and then go on with her video, which is quite lovely. I have seen it.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. I think Jim might have my video set up, ready to play. Jim, I narrated it so that in case my laptop plays up quite often and freezes, I didn't want that to happen. So I think Jim is going to start my video. And if you want to sit back for just over 20 minutes and enjoy my video, and I talk all the way through. Good.
Hello and welcome to my presentation. While Vancouver,
have you got audio, Elizabeth?
During the pandemic,
Yeah.
I'm very honored to be invited to talk at the Delta Naturalist Society's annual general meeting. Thank you for this opportunity to share my work and passion with you all. Before I start my presentation, I'd like to respectfully acknowledge that the place I call Wild Vancouver is the unceded territory of the Coast Salish, Musqueam, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Stolo First Nations. Look at this coyote and heron. They seem to be playing with each other. This is on the early morning dawn on Boundary Bay. There's a bald eagle and lots of plovers and sandpipers. What a wonderful sight. I've always had a love for wildlife and nature, but it wasn't until I arrived in Canada nearly 10 years ago that it became a passion. I took up photography and especially videography. I love to capture wildlife.
Get more volume, Jim.
You'll have to do the volume yourself. Turn up your volume.
Northern Harriers, or maybe my spark
Mine's up, but I can't hear very well.
And saw over the marsh.
However, there's closed captioning, so it's okay.
Birds, wildlife, and natural scenic beauty here in British Columbia is unparalleled. I've been lucky enough to live in some really beautiful parts of the world, but British Columbia has stolen my heart. Now I know I'm preaching to the choir here with this presentation. All of you at Dunlin know exactly what I'm trying to do. How good nature makes all of us feel. I like to walk as often as I can for my own mental health. What it makes me feel then. But until the pandemic, I didn't realize quite how important it was to everyone's mental health. I have friends all over the world, and during those awful first few months, my friends told me my short daily nature videos saved them. The birds and wildlife I saw during those first few months was so special too. There was no traffic, everything was quiet, no planes, no buses, no trains, just a wonderful silence. Filming in Vancouver, I often have to compete with a lot of background noise. Those noisy planes, trains, boats, traffic, and so many people. But from personal observation, the birds and the wildlife enjoyed the peace too. I captured some of the most wonderful bird song during that time with no background noise. I took out BC healthcare team's advice and walked as often as I could, keeping close to home and Delta until the restrictions lifted. I put my nature therapy content up online and received some terrific feedback from people who couldn't get out, who were literally in lockdown. They sent me cards and messages thanking me for giving them a brief escape into nature, even if it was only virtual. I'm very lucky to have a very supportive family who believe in me. They always have my back. When I'm grumpy and in a bad mood, they push me out the door, hand me my camera, go for a walk, Mum. They say, go look at birds. They know what makes me feel better. Here's my daughter Erin on her birthday, sunflowers in Chilliwack in the summer. I love my family very much. I don't know what I'd do without them. These are my 3 young people at Alouette Lake at the very start of the pandemic. It was a very scary time and there's talk of the parks closing, so we had a quiet family picnic there in our little bubble. A few days after this, the parks closed. My eldest daughter lives in New Zealand with my grandchildren, and she often sends me photos of the birds she sees there. I follow the Miranda Trust online and always try to let her know. The bar-tailed godwits are leaving Alaska. They're on their way to the Coromandel, which is in New Zealand. Let me know if you see any. One thing I really love about social media and the internet is the amount of really interesting information that is available. Now, I'm not a professional or any kind of expert. I'm just a very keen birder and naturalist. And what I really love about being an environmentalist is you keep learning every day. So I walk quite often. No day is ever the same. I always keep my sibley's bird book close at hand and have a funny story to tell you here. I'd heard that the Dunlin brochures were out, so one day I picked up a few at my local library. I threw them on the table and I was putting up my video of my walk at Centennial Beach, this one here on the screen, near Swarton. I'd videoed some little fishing crabs and eelgrass in the shallow waters, and some lugworm casts and jellyfish. Then the top brochure caught my eye. I thought, oh, that's my jellyfish. And then I read the description. It's not a jellyfish at all. It's the egg sac of the lugworm. Oh my goodness, you learn something new every day. So thank you for the brochures. Now I'd actually contributed a photo to them of this rough-skinned nude. Now I'd seen my first ever sighting was in April of 2020, and I was crossing the cycle track in Delta. I never touched wildlife, but I only touched it with assistance. Gloves if I can. Here I am, moving it off the trail into the Quesnel ferns. In August of 2020, I was invited by to film and witness this bald eagle release. Look at him go. Oh my God. That was just so exhilarating. Just absolutely made my day. So many good things happened during the pandemic. Awfulness. There was just so many good things, especially nature-based. We all know how much good work our rehab does every single day. Now, yeah, very dark trail, and I'm looking north at the North Shore Mountains, and I'm trying to look for Neowise to comment. I didn't see it, but I spent many hours scouring the night sky. It's absolutely beautiful. Luckily, Christian Sissy is a great friend of mine. He's a patron and a supporter of his images and videos. I absolutely love his work, and he's a brilliant eagle photographer too. One of the highlights during the pandemic was watching bald eagle nests for Hancock Wildlife Foundation. Started, the eagles were just beginning to sit on their nests, so it was a wonderful escape to go watch these magnificent birds incubating their eggs. Look at it glaring down at me. If nature can carry on its business, then so could I. Now this is another nest, and my first sighting of the season of a baby bald eagle. Can you see that little white fluffy head there? I just can't describe the wonder and joy that filled me. Suddenly the world was a bigger place. Watching this mummy delicately, she feeds it. Now the baby's maybe a week old. It's the middle of April. It just made all the problems just disappear, and I was just grinning all day long. Two wonderful words. This is a few months later, and this is at one of my favorite nests to watch. I call it Tortoise Nest. Panting in the heat there. Now she has two babies. And you can watch them squabbling here. And sometimes it just makes me, nature just makes me laugh. You can almost imagine her saying, "Cut it out, you two." The animal antics. Watch nature all day long. It's sometimes so wonderful and very rewarding. Now here I am in spring, watching the fuzzy balls of fluff that are baby great horned owls as they emerge and blink into the morning sun. And they're just beautiful. See her eyes. Oh, there's two hello babies. And when the world is in crisis and everything's so stressful and worrisome in our human lives, we stand up with these wonderful little balls of fluffy feathers, and suddenly the world is just a much better place. I do monthly water bird surveys for Birds Canada, and I've fallen deeply in love with the little Dunlin, the Sandpipers, the plovers, migratory birds, and I love watching them dance across the bay, often chased by Merlin or Peregrine. It just gives me so much pleasure. I lose all track of time as they swirl and perform with such beauty and grace. Doesn't it look just magic? Now, we are so incredibly lucky to have such an abundance of birds and wildlife here in Vancouver, particularly in the Delta area. It's a really important bird area. Thousands of migratory birds visit our region to overwinter in our Fraser River Delta. We must look after this environment and conserve it for the birds. We also get a lot of migratory raptors. Look at this exquisite short-eared owl. There's a coal train running behind him. He keeps looking behind him to see what's going on. We also get long-eared owls, and in eruption years, we're sometimes lucky enough to see a snowy owl. And we also get rough-legged hawks, which are quite the most beautiful raptors. They all spend their winters here in our milder climates. We drink rich food found in our river delta and bay. We have hundreds of bald eagles, red-tailed hawks, northern harriers, barn owls, barred owls, great horned owls, and they all love our salt marshes and farm fields for rodents and voles. Please never use rodenticides. Raptors are the solution. I read reports from our rehab. Too many raptors are brought in with rodenticide poisoning, which is very, very depressing. I believe in science and in documenting and tagging and banding, researching and trying to learn as much about the natural world as we can. It's the only way we can save it for the future and maybe save ourselves too. I spent a lot of time at the Peregrine Falcon East site in Abbotsford, along with many other concerned naturalists, environmentalists, and photographers. Honestly, having this to fight for gave me a real sense of purpose and focus. It was so motivating, made me get outside, think about something else despite the pandemic. Even though I spent most of my time in tears at the infuriating behavior of the mine and the government's lack of care. I saw my first ever baby Peregrine Falcons. Can you see the two little baby white bundles of fluff there? Ah, too wonderful. Now during the summer, once BC parks reopened, we went to one of my favorite parks, Manning, near Hope. I'm sure you all know it well. And the footage I got that first summer was absolutely unbelievable. Subalpine wildflowers were absolutely splendid. It was beautiful. And the wildlife had been left alone for several months by this time. And they were using the trails as if they owned the place, which of course they do. I had some of the most magical and enchanting encounters of my life. Every morning, I'd go down to Lightning Lake early. The whole place to myself, and I used to follow this deer down to the lake. And she foraged along the trail, and then she'd cross the lake, often swimming across or crossing at the slower point. Then one day, when I was standing on the Rainbow Bridge, and I looked down, there's two otters swimming below me. I just took my breath away. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was like something out of a deep Disney movie. It was just pure magic. The whole scene just made the rest of the world just disappear, and suddenly I was in this magic place, and there's the mommy deer crossing ahead. She had very full udders. I think she had her babies hidden somewhere. Isn't it just enchanting? Wonderful. Shortly afterwards, we took a road trip to Quesnel to look for foxes. Now, I didn't find any foxes, but look what I found. My first ever sighting of a lynx. Isn't it beautiful? Black tips. I've always loved cats, the big cats, any cats. I absolutely adore them. Look at his little tongue poking out. Too beautiful. Quite a respectful distance from him, so he's not worried. I'm not worried. Just too beautiful for words. I was just filled with wonder looking at him. My first cat. I thought he might be a bobcat, but see the black tip to his tail? Experts told me that means he's a lynx. And I was also very honoured to have one of my photos make the cover of British Company of Birds. It really lifted my spirits, I can tell you. Now, one of the greatest things to help everyone in the pandemic was, of course, the internet and social media. We could connect safely with other people. We could share information and photos. Despite the lockdown, we could talk and connect with people online without fear of spreading or catching COVID. Social media, of course, is a double-edged sword and definitely has its drawbacks. The recent Stanley Park Coyote really broke my heart. I love sharing my finds. Like most of you here, like many other people, I love getting outside into nature to photograph birds and wildlife. Many of you, many of my friends and followers, we're all on the same page. We all put wildlife and nature first. But sadly, there are some who don't think as we do, who are only in it for the money shot, who think nothing of getting too close, trampling the fragile environment, stressing, baiting, and even feeding wildlife. Fed wildlife is dead wildlife. I try to put the message across in every post I make online to respect wildlife and put nature first. Wildlife that shares our city has a right to live in peace from human interference, and they should be respected. During the pandemic, I started my Friday Facts on my YouTube channel. It was a weekly 15 to 20 minute documentary, more for entertainment than education. But I love research and I always try to check that all my facts were correct. Showcase a different bird or wildlife each week, and it was really good to keep busy making these films. But sadly, most people's attention span is only 15 seconds, but I have to get back to it. Now, another disturbing side of social media is that this video of a sleeping great horned owl only got a handful of views, but the terrified wide eyes and defensive spread wing posture of an unethical birder's video got millions of likes and shares. Sometimes I just don't understand people at all. I always try to implement Audubon Bird's code of conduct regarding ethical behaviour in the wild. Melissa Huffling is a very good friend of mine. I'm sure you all know her. She runs the BC Rare Bird Alert. She's a wildlife biologist, and she's an inspiration to me. She gets things done. That's what I really love about her. And I love reading her blog, Dear to Bird. Now also takes young people out into the field and gets them interested in birding. That's just what our young people need. She never ceases to amaze me. She's also the first person I report interesting bird finds to, because I often don't know what they are, but I know she always will. And like me, she also knows the importance of ethical birding behaviour. She's just let me know this week that Delta City Council will be putting up signs and taking action against people harassing the owls along Boundary Bay. It's just great news because there's so much disappointing behaviour going on. What the pandemic brought home to me is how important nature, birds and wildlife are, not only to me, but to all of us. And I think we as naturalists should be more proactive in making sure birds and wildlife are respected and nature and the environment are protected. Now, this isn't a photo on the screen, it's a video. It's a mommy bald eagle chillaxing in the sun with her spread eagle wing. She's got two babies, about 3 to 4 months old, in the nest nearby. She's just taking a break for them. Isn't she beautiful? Oh, I love these raptors. They just make my day to see them. I hope you always keep fighting for the protection of endangered species, for nature conservation, and of course respect for wildlife. For me, that's the most important thing. Ethical wildlife behaviour. Wildlife and birds always come first. No photograph is ever worth stressing a wild creature for. Look at this red tail drying her wings and tail. Isn't she beautiful? Even in the pouring rain. So get outside. It's a wonderful place to renew your soul. A walk in nature, watching birds and wildlife is so good for you. It's good for your physical health, and it's great, really great for your mental health too. And if you walk quietly, listen to the sounds of nature and be aware of your surroundings. If you show respect, you will be rewarded with the most wonderful encounters. There are a lot of fantastic online groups and resources to help you get outside, like the Delta Nets. BC Bird Trail is another great resource, and Metro Vancouver parks are a fantastic place to start. Their trails are generally easy and well maintained, and often wheelchair accessible too. Oh, just look at these otters on the screen. This just made my day. I think there were 8, but I lifted my camera too late, so there's only 4, but they were crossing the trail in front of me. That made my day. My favourite poem is The Peace of Wild Things by Wendell Berry. When you go out into nature, your soul is restored, and the worries of the world are definitely put into perspective. Thank you for watching my presentation. I hope you enjoyed my videos. Please feel free to follow me on my social media. You can find me on most platforms as Pacific Northwest Cape. YouTube has the highest resolution for my videos, so I like that one the most. But I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. I have an account for anyone who wants to support me. And my book, Wild Vancouver, Finding Hope and Joy in Nature in 2020, is up on Blurb. Thank you so much for your time, everyone. I really appreciate it. A big thank you, Dr. Nats, for this wonderful opportunity to share some of my passion and wildlife videos with you all. I've really enjoyed putting this presentation together. It brought back many good memories. It reminded me of the good times. They weren't all bad. Despite the pandemic, there were many wonderful encounters. Stay safe, everyone. Be kind. Please respect wildlife and try to put nature first.
Thank you, Kate.
Thank you for watching. Thank you very
Lovely.
much. Sorry, the sound was a bit lagging, and I did
Yeah,
try
that's
and improve
strange.
it, but
Yeah.
it will be up on my YouTube channel as well as on Delta Nat's page. So if anyone wants to watch again.
Thank
Well,
you.
Thank you.
thank you for having the closed captioning because I have a hearing problem anyway. So
Okay. Oh, that's
being
good.
able to read it made it quite fine.
Oh, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Thank you.
It was really helpful because when I looked at your presentation after you'd adjusted the audio,
Yeah.
I was hearing it okay, but tonight I wasn't
Yes,
hearing
there
it
was-
well. I don't know why that happened. Because I
Yeah.
listened to the first part of your presentation after I'd asked you to up the audio a bit.
Yeah.
And it sounded fine, but tonight it was all breaking up. I don't know.
It wasn't, the sound wasn't good tonight, but that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
I think it's trying to run it through Zoom is a bit of a problem. So
Yes, I think so.
yeah, if you watch the video off YouTube, or we'll probably put it up on our website, so you
Yeah.
be able to hear it all.
Okay, closed captioning worked really well for tonight.
Yeah,
okay.
very well.
It was very, very obvious, your passion.
Oh, good. That's what I was trying to get across. But I'm talking to the choir. You all know exactly what I mean.
Wow.
Yeah, we've been in those places.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm hoping that, when the thing goes up on our website, that other people will look at this as well.
Good.
Because it is there for members of the public. So let's hope that some people watch it, people who might not necessarily pick up on your blog.
Okay.
Because the more people get the message, the better it'll be.
I hope so.
A few comments from people here, from Manly Shen, she's saying thanks for a wonderful presentation, and also from Audrey saying thank you, that was wonderful.
Beautifully done. What kind of video camera did you use?
It's a Nikon Coolpix. It's just the P1000.
Okay.
It's just a point and shoot, but it does the job.
I've had that camera. I moved up the notch. It's got a huge zoom on it.
Yeah. It's a wonderful camera. It works for me, and you can get close to nature without actually getting close. But for photos, it's not as good as a DSLR or something like that, but it works for me.
Right. I agree.
Yes, well done. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Joe Stephen has also commented that there are amazing photos. And Anita Dendicken was asking if those were coyotes in the opening scenes playing with the birds.
Yes.
And they were, yes, yeah.
Yes, they were. It's incredible to watch. But of course, he wasn't really playing.
No.
You might have happily eaten it,
No, it
but
wasn't back and
but
forth.
Great.
it looks good. It looks good.
It looks nice, yes.
Yeah, yeah,
More like chasing, hunting down, but
yeah, yeah. I think so.
looks like playing, which is always good. Does anyone have more questions for Kate? Comments?
Well, it was pretty self-explanatory. There's nothing really to question, but I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Thank you.
Thank you,
Oh,
Kate.
thank you. It was
Thank you,
great
Kate.
to see those pictures.
And
Thank
thank
you,
you for
Kate.
nature notes. I
Excellent.
love your video. I watch them all the time. The nature wild Vancouver, incredible. I'd talk about a calming effect. I mean, you have scenes that just go on for 5 minutes with nothing happening but a bird, but it's so soulful. It's just so relaxing and just wonderful. Thank you for that, because we don't get enough of that. Like you say,
No.
people like 15 seconds,
That's
but
right.
not birders. Birders
No, oh, I
like
know.
a lot longer than 15 seconds, but that's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
It's so
Did you-
refreshing, Kate, that that you observed the photography protocols too. In the meeting that Sid attended, that was certainly an issue that they brought up. I remember reading about that, about